TLDR, if you don't want to watch the whole video, I think that 0.3 for Path of Exile 2 is going to be a great patch, but I think the balance is missing the mark. If you enjoyed the previous leagues, feel free to come back and play. I think you'll have a great time. If you didn't enjoy the previous leagues, this will not be enough to come back. I will remain optimistic about the patch, and I will not point out things like
Evasion was the weakest of the 3 defenses.
Roll the video. For positives, removing cruel difficulty is a massive win. Acts 2 and 3 feel like a slog, and having to do them again feels awful. The best part about doing one small favor on a new RuneScape account is knowing that you never have to do it again. Imagine doing it twice on every account, forever. Here's my prediction. Act 4 will be much shorter. It's a random guess, but Act 1 in Diablo 2 takes place in a dark forest and ends in a manor. Act 1 in PoE 2 takes place in a dark forest and ends in a manor. Act 2 in Diablo 2 takes place in a desert, and Act 2 in PoE 2 takes place in a desert. Act 3 in Diablo 2 has the most confusing jungle you'll ever see in your entire life. Act 3 in PoE 2 has the Alright, well, you get the point. I'm not saying that we're going to be defeating the Lord of Hell, but I am about to hit the craziest parlay of my life by guessing that the newest act will have our Chaos Sanctuary equivalent. I think that Abyss League seems like a cook, and it almost screams, this is what we could have done, guys, if we had more time. I hope that it's more enjoyable, and that it's not as bad as specking essences on your Atlas tree back when 0.1 launched. If getting better gear is quick and easy to do, I can foresee this league as being one that's well remembered and well liked. Asynchronous trading looks like it will be the sickest thing imaginable, and if you haven't seen the latest video that GG put out after the patch announcement, you can now search for things in the game menu itself. This is an amazing step in the right direction, and we'll have to deal with the bumps along the road when we get there. Now, 24 people can join Quinn's hideout and play the Goblin Troop all day long. Please don't actually do that, I don't want to get in trouble with other streamers. Unless the trouble gets me more views, in which case, I have a list of streamers that I like to start drama with. Getting back to this patch are my main concerns. Not complaints, just concerns. I'm concerned that excluding a lot of the definitive values of skill gems just leaves us in the same place as patch notes day in 0.2. In the dark. Skill gem and passive tree changes are great to hear about in concept, but it means that any warrior player has to hope and pray that there's literally anything to bring up the viability of warrior. But I guess we won't know until we log in. You can claim that it's an early access, and they're probably just working on things until the moment they're released. But, I don't know, some things still make me scratch my head. Some abilities are specifically built around being heavy-hitting, single-target abilities, and they still deal less damage than default attack. Seriously, why is this even still a skill? We can't talk about passive tree changes without talking about deflection. This mechanic is broken as hell. They somehow found a way to add a more broken mechanic than suppression in PoE 1. My initial impression leads me to believe that this is damage reduction against both spells and attacks. You'll obviously want to pick this up if you're anywhere near the right side of the tree. Talking about Jonathan's comment on evasion being the weakest defensive layer in the game, Waggle made an excellent point on this. If you look at it from a pure statistical point of view, most new players clicking around aimlessly and grabbing dexterity in the bottom right side of the tree are probably dying a lot more than new players clicking around aimlessly and grabbing strength in the bottom left side of the tree. When you think about it that way, a character with really high strength values could, on average, be less likely to die, despite not having access to actual defensive layers because they have armor and endgame. In contrast, however, evasion typically leads itself to also being able to go evasion and energy shield, since they go hand in hand on the right side of the tree. For now, let's go over my plans for the 0.3 launch. I'm currently planning on playing a Hollow Palm Invoker Monk using Thunderfist. I think that not needing a weapon will be sick, as it will scale up your skill gem level, and your gear's evasion, yes, which will be stacking anyways. Evasion and energy shield are already the most broken defensives in the game, and now we'll be adding deflection on top of them. Nice. Couple this with the new Thunderfists, and oh man, is this build going to be sick. Or maybe it'll suck. I don't know. I personally have zero faith in any build that we can't already play, let alone PoB. Do not, I repeat, do not get baited by YouTube videos claiming that it's going to be the best build to League start. It probably won't. It'll probably suck. In all honesty, GGG probably hates you. Realistically, we'll all be rerolling over to Lightning Spear or Lightning Arrow Deadeye anyways. But hey, at least you can play those skills on Invoker. If you still really want to play Hollow Palm, Thunderfist, Invoker, feel free to copy what I'm doing on twitch.tv/TacticKiller. Ice Strike and Tempest Spell are most likely going to be the best way to level yet again, and getting there will be a combination of default attack and contagion, or both skills. I'll link a more detailed guide below once we get closer to the release date. Additionally, I'm hoping to put out a video soon which summarizes my coaching session that I had with Ingorm, Rank 1 Speedrunner in Path of Exile 2, so make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel to get notified when that video goes up. One last thing before I go is that I will be having a surgery procedure on Thursday the 28th, right before the league begins. For as long as I can remember, I haven't been able to breathe through my nose properly due to a deviated septum, so I'm getting septoplasty to get it fixed. I'm sorry if I don't respond to questions, or if I unreasonably crash out on someone. I'm probably just off my meds. I also most likely won't be using cam for a while after, so Femboy Fridays will be postponed for now. My leveling planner will likely change every day, and if you're watching this video when it goes up, I'm live right now on twitch.tv/TacticKiller. Bye everyone. Bye.